Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt stuck? Like no matter how hard you try, there's this invisible wall holding you back. Well, let me tell you something. That wall isn't out there, it's in here, pointing to the brain. Your mind is the ultimate tool. It can be your greatest ally or your fiercest enemy. Right now, as you sit here, every thought you think, every belief you hold is either propelling you forward or chaining you to the ground. But here's the good news, you have the power to rewire it. And I'm not talking about a motivational speech or a quick fix. I'm talking about scientifically proven methods to reprogram your brain for success. By the end of this talk, you won't just feel inspired. You'll have the tools to break through every limitation, every fear, every doubt that's ever held you back. You're here because you want more. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to get it. Your mind is the ultimate tool, the most powerful instrument you'll ever possess. But here's the truth most people overlook. It doesn't come pre-programmed for success. The way your mind works is not fixed, it's shaped, molded, and deeply influenced by the thoughts you allow to run through it every day. The fascinating part, you're the one in control. You're the programmer of this incredible supercomputer, and the code you write consciously or unconsciously dictates the reality you experience. Imagine this: every thought you have sends signals to your brain, creating pathways like trails in a forest. The more you walk a trail, the clearer and more established it becomes. Over time, it becomes your default route, the automatic response your brain takes. If those thoughts are empowering, I can handle this, I'm capable, I'll figure it out, then the pathways you're creating lead you towards strength, resilience, and success. But if those thoughts are disempowering, I'm not good enough, this is too hard, I'll never make it, then the trails you're carving lead to doubt, fear, and stagnation. The key is understanding that this process is happening every single moment, whether you're aware of it or not. Most people let their minds run on autopilot, replaying the same limiting stories and excuses. They become prisoners of their own thoughts, chained to a reality that feels unchangeable. But what if I told you that by simply becoming aware of your thought patterns, you could begin to rewrite them? What if you could consciously design the trails in your mind, leading to the life you truly want? Here's the kicker: your mind doesn't differentiate between what's real and what's vividly imagined. Think about it: when you replay a painful memory, your body reacts as if it's happening right now. Your heart races, your palms sweat, and your emotions flare up. The same happens when you visualize success. Picture yourself achieving a goal you've always dreamed of. See it clearly in your mind, feel the excitement, hear the applause, taste the victory. Your brain lights up as though it's already real. This isn't just wishful thinking, it's a powerful tool to prime your mind for success. This is why so many people get stuck. They spend their days reinforcing the wrong patterns, imagining failure, focusing on what they lack, and doubting their abilities. They don't realize that these thoughts are sculpting their reality. But when you consciously choose to shift your focus, to feed your mind with empowering ideas, and to visualize success instead of failure, you're literally reprogramming your brain. The power of your mind lies in its ability to adapt, grow, and change. You don't have to accept the life you've always known as your final destination. You can start right now by becoming the guardian of your thoughts. Choose to focus on what you want, not what you fear. Train your brain to see opportunities, not obstacles. The more you do this, the stronger those neural pathways become, and the easier it gets to move toward your goals. Your mind is your most valuable ally. Treat it like the powerhouse it is, and there's nothing you can't achieve. Let me ask you to think for a moment about your past. Think about the moments when you felt defeated or discouraged. Maybe it was a failed project, a missed opportunity, or an experience where you felt like you weren't good enough. Now, ask yourself, what did you say to yourself in those moments? Did you tell yourself, I can't do this, or I'm just not cut out for this? Did you repeat stories like, I'm not smart enough, or I'll never make it? Those words, those thoughts are the chains that hold you back. The reality is we all carry limiting beliefs, mental patterns that tell us what we can or cannot do. These beliefs aren't born with us. They're formed over time, often from past experiences, failures, or the opinions of others. They become deeply ingrained in the way we see the world and ourselves. The problem is they aren't the truth. They're just stories you've accepted as facts. And if you continue to believe them, they'll shape your future. But here's the exciting part: you can change those beliefs. The first step is realizing that these beliefs are not facts, they're simply habitual thoughts. And the beauty of it is thoughts are not permanent. You can reframe, shift, and replace them with new beliefs that serve you rather than hold you back. One of the most powerful ways to break free from these limiting beliefs is to start questioning them. Whenever you hear that voice inside your head telling you you can't do this, ask yourself, what if the opposite were true? What if you were more than capable? What if failure was simply a stepping stone to success? What if the very thing you fear most is actually an opportunity for growth? By questioning those limiting beliefs, you start to open up new possibilities. You create space for empowerment instead of self-doubt. And once you start to shift your perspective, you'll see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You'll approach challenges with confidence, knowing that failure isn't a reflection of your worth, but a necessary part of growth. The next step is to replace your limiting beliefs with empowering ones. This isn't just about positive thinking, it's about changing your mindset to reflect the person you want to become. For example, if you've always believed you're not good enough, start telling yourself, I am enough and I have everything I need to succeed. If you've thought you'll never make it, replace that with, I am capable and I can overcome any challenge that comes my way. These empowering beliefs don't need to be perfect or flawless, they simply need to be true to the vision you have for yourself. Start small, but make it consistent. The more you repeat these new thoughts, the more your brain will begin to form new neural pathways, reinforcing this empowering mindset. Over time, these new beliefs will become your default. The more you believe in your own potential, the more you'll unlock your ability to achieve greatness. Breaking free from limiting beliefs isn't an overnight process, it's a continuous journey. But once you realize that these beliefs are just stories you've been telling yourself, you'll start to recognize their power and take action to rewrite them. The key is consistency. Every time you hear that negative voice, challenge it. Replace it with something that empowers you. And watch how quickly your life begins to shift. You've probably heard the phrase, what fires together, wires together, and it couldn't be truer when it comes to your brain. Your brain is a malleable, dynamic organ, constantly adapting and changing. It's built for growth, and it's designed to create new connections. This is the concept of neuroplasticity, the brain's incredible ability to rewire itself. It's the science behind how we learn, grow, and change. And here's the great news: you can consciously tap into this power to rewire your brain for success. When you think a thought or perform an action repeatedly, your brain forms new neural connections, strengthening the pathways that support that behavior. This is how habits are created, whether they are good or bad. Every action you take, every thought you think, reinforces those neural pathways, making it easier for your brain to repeat them. Over time, the more you practice something, the more automatic it becomes. This is the fundamental reason why habits are so powerful. But here's the flip side: the same thing happens with negative thoughts and self-destructive behaviors. Every time you repeat a negative belief, I'm not good enough, this is too hard, or I'll never succeed, you're reinforcing those pathways in your brain. The more you think these thoughts, the more they become your reality. And because your brain is wired for efficiency, it will continue to follow the path of least resistance, which often means repeating the same limiting patterns. Now let's talk about the exciting part, how to use neuroplasticity to your advantage. First, you need to be aware of the patterns you're reinforcing. It all starts with awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts and actions. Are you repeating limiting beliefs or negative behaviors that are keeping you stuck? Are you reinforcing a story that says you're not enough, or are you creating a story that empowers you to take action? Once you become aware, you can start to break those old patterns. The next step is to consciously replace those old limiting thoughts with new empowering ones. It's about rewiring your brain to focus on the possibilities, not the obstacles. For example, instead of thinking, I'm not good enough to succeed, replace that thought with, I have everything I need to succeed, and I'm capable of learning and growing along the way. Every time you think this new thought, you're creating a new pathway in your brain. Eventually, with consistent repetition, this new belief will become your default. It will become the automatic thought that pops into your mind whenever you face a challenge. Visualization is another powerful tool in rewiring your brain. When you visualize yourself succeeding, whether it's achieving a personal goal, giving a successful presentation, or overcoming an obstacle, your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. By repeatedly visualizing your success, you're creating the neural pathways that will help make it a reality. Rewiring your brain is not an overnight process. It takes consistent effort, but the rewards are enormous. The more you train your brain to think differently, to focus on what's possible, and to take action with confidence, the more those neural pathways will become ingrained. And over time, you'll find yourself acting on those new beliefs without even thinking about it. You'll start to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles, and you'll develop the mindset and habits of someone who can succeed no matter the challenges. The brain is capable of remarkable transformation. By consciously rewiring your neural pathways, you're setting yourself up for success in every area of your life. The question is, are you ready to take control and start creating the brain and the life you truly desire? Success doesn't happen by chance. It's not some stroke of luck or a random act of fate. Success is built on the foundation of habits, small, consistent actions that compound over time to produce extraordinary results. And the great news is that you have the power to create these habits no matter where you are right now. Your daily routines, the things you do without thinking, shape the future you'll experience. If you want to create a life of success, you must start by looking at your habits and making the necessary shifts. Think about the habits of successful people. What do they do differently from those who struggle? It's not magic, it's intentionality. Successful individuals have a set of habits that propel them forward, even when they face obstacles. They wake up early to set their minds for the day. They invest time in personal growth. They practice gratitude, and they prioritize their physical and mental health. These are not just things they do when they feel like it. They are part of their everyday routine. The question is, what habits are you reinforcing in your life right now? Are they the habits of someone who is moving toward their goals? Or are they habits that keep you stuck in the same place year after year? The truth is, every action you take reinforces a habit, whether it's consciously chosen or not. If you wake up every day and start your morning by scrolling through social media, you're reinforcing the habit of distraction and comparison. If you hit snooze on your alarm and let the day slip away without intention, you're reinforcing the habit of procrastination. But it's not too late to change. It's about becoming intentional with your habits. Start by choosing one small habit to implement today that moves you toward your goal. Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier to read, meditate, or plan your day. Maybe it's setting aside 15 minutes to journal about what you're grateful for, which will help rewire your brain for positivity. The key is consistency. It's not about perfection, it's about repetition. When you consistently engage in a positive habit, you begin to build the neural pathways in your brain that make it easier and easier to keep going. Over time, these small habits will start to compound. You'll notice that waking up early becomes automatic, that choosing to eat healthy feels natural, or that exercising daily becomes a non-negotiable part of your routine. The more you make these habits a part of your life, the more success they will create. And it's not just about the habits themselves, it's about the mindset you're building through these actions. By choosing habits that support your growth, you're training your brain to focus on what's important, on what's productive, and on what drives you forward. One of the most important habits to develop is the habit of reflection. At the end of each day, ask yourself what went well today. What could I improve? This practice of self-awareness will help you stay aligned with your goals. Recognize when you're slipping into old habits and course correct before it's too late. Success is not a destination, it's a journey. And it's the habits you build today that will determine where you end up tomorrow. Remember, habits are the building blocks of success. They shape the person you become, and they determine whether you move forward or stay stuck. By focusing on building positive habits, one small action at a time, you can create a life that aligns with your deepest desires and aspirations. Success is not a matter of luck, it's a matter of habit. The choice is yours. Emotions are often seen as something to be avoided or managed, but what if I told you that your emotions are not your enemies? What if they are the fuel you've been missing to propel you toward your greatest successes? Emotions like fear, doubt, frustration, and even anger are often viewed as obstacles in our path. We're taught to suppress or avoid these emotions in an attempt to feel better, but in reality, these emotions are signals, powerful guides showing us what we need to focus on or change in our lives. When you understand how to harness them, they can become your greatest allies in the pursuit of success. Let's take fear, for example. Fear is one of the most common emotions that holds people back. We fear failure, rejection, the unknown known, and sometimes even success itself. This fear can paralyze us, keeping us stuck in our comfort zones. But fear in its purest form is simply the body's response to uncertainty. It's a natural protective reaction to something we haven't yet encountered. The problem isn't fear itself, it's how we respond to it. Instead of letting fear control you, you can choose to use it as a signal that you're on the verge of something new, something big. Fear can be the compass that points you toward what matters most. The next time you feel afraid, ask yourself, what is this fear trying to teach me? Is it a fear of failure, or is it a fear of stepping into your true potential? By reframing fear as an opportunity for growth, you take away its power to control you. Now let's talk about doubt. Self-doubt is something that everyone experiences, no matter how successful they are. It's that voice inside that says, you're not good enough, or who are you to do this? Doubt often creeps in when you're stepping out of your comfort zone, taking a risk, or pursuing something new. It's natural, but that doesn't mean you should let it dictate your actions. In fact, doubt can be a powerful motivator if you let it. When you feel doubt, instead of retreating, ask yourself, what if the opposite of this doubt is true? What if you are capable? What if you do have what it takes? By challenging the doubt and taking action anyway, you build resilience and confidence. The more you push through the doubt, the weaker it becomes. Frustration is another emotion that many people try to avoid, but it's often a sign that you're on the verge of breakthrough. When you feel frustrated, it's because things aren't going the way you want, but frustration is often the result of an unmet desire or goal. It's your mind and body telling you, I want more. Frustration is a call to action. It's an invitation to dig deeper, to look for solutions, and to try new approaches. Rather than seeing frustration as a roadblock, you can see it as a sign that your commitment to your goal is strong enough to trigger this emotional response. Frustration means you care deeply about your success, and that is something to be embraced, not feared. The key is to stop seeing emotions as something that holds you back and start seeing them as energy that can drive you forward. Emotions are not a sign of weakness, they're a source of strength. They give you the passion, the drive, and the determination to keep moving forward when things get tough. Instead of pushing emotions away, lean into them. When you feel fear, doubt, or frustration, recognize it as a sign that you're growing, that you're pushing your limits, and that you're on the path to success. When you learn to transform your emotions from obstacles into fuel, you unlock a new level of power within yourself. The emotions that once seemed to paralyze you can now propel you into action, pushing you toward the results you want. Don't be afraid of your emotions. Use them to create momentum and drive you toward the success you deserve. The power of a strong mindset cannot be overstated. It is, in fact, the foundation of every successful endeavor. Your mindset determines how you perceive the world and how you react to challenges, and ultimately it shapes your reality. A fixed mindset, one that believes your abilities are set in stone, will limit your potential and keep you stuck in a cycle of mediocrity. On the other hand, a growth mindset, the belief that you can develop your abilities through effort, learning, and persistence, opens up a world of possibility. It allows you to face challenges with a sense of curiosity and excitement rather than fear and doubt. A growth mindset transforms obstacles into opportunities. When you believe that you can learn from every situation, even failure, you stop seeing setbacks as defeats. Instead, they become lessons that propel you forward. This mindset is what fuels the world's top performers, the athletes, entrepreneurs, and creatives who are constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible. They view every challenge as a stepping stone to greater success, and they embrace the discomfort that comes with growth. Rather than shying away from difficult situations, they dive in, knowing that with each step, they are becoming more capable, more resilient, and more skilled. In practical terms, adopting a growth mindset means embracing the idea that your skills and intelligence are not fixed. They are malleable, adaptable, and can be expanded through consistent effort. This requires a shift in how you view failure. Instead of seeing it as something to be avoided, start viewing failure as feedback. It's a natural part of the process of growth. Every time you fall short, you gain valuable insight into what doesn't work, and this insight leads you closer to what will work. Success is never a straight line. It's a series of trials and errors, each of which contributes to your overall learning and development. To cultivate a growth mindset, start by changing your inner dialogue. When you encounter a challenge, rather than saying, I can't do this, replace it with, I can't do this yet, this small shift in language creates a massive shift in your perception of your abilities. Yet implies that with effort and persistence, you will get there. It reinforces the idea that you are on a journey, and every experience, whether positive or negative, is part of that journey. This change in language can be incredibly powerful, as it keeps you in a state of possibility rather than resignation. Another key to cultivating a growth mindset is surrounding yourself with the right influences. The people you spend the most time with have a direct impact on how you think and behave. If you surround yourself with individuals who have a growth-oriented perspective, who embrace challenges and see failure as a stepping stone, you are much more likely to adopt the same mindset. Seek out mentors, coaches, or peers who inspire you and challenge you to think bigger, act bolder, and push through obstacles. Remember, your mindset is the lens through which you see the world. If you see the world as a place full of opportunities to learn, grow, and improve, your life will reflect that. Every challenge becomes a chance to develop. Every setback a lesson in resilience, and every success a stepping stone to even greater achievements. Developing a growth mindset is not a one-time event, it's an ongoing process. It's about continually reminding yourself that your abilities are not predetermined, and that with the right effort and mindset, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Ultimately, your mindset will either empower you to take action and achieve your goals, or it will hold you back from even trying. It's time to shift your perspective, embrace the power of growth, and unlock the unlimited potential that lies within you. The success you desire is not something that happens by chance, it's something you create one thought and one action at a time.